The sound of your voice is very important. Okay? Because it will decide whether people will take you seriously or not. If I approach you with energy and I introduce myself and I shake you well, you'll look at me like, okay, this is a serious person. But if you meet somebody, you're in an interview and they're asking you questions and you're going, yeah, there was one time that I stood up for myself in a situation and, it kind of worked out well. I want to end the interview so quickly because you don't sound confident. So when it comes to communication, there's 3 things you need to think about. There's visual communication. How do you look, right? What's your body language saying? Never talk covering your mouth. We do that a lot. Never talk covering your mouth. It shows signs that you are not confident. Always put your hand down. Let your eye contact. Thank you. Maybe you come and join me on here soon. Yes. Eye contact and speak well. Next thing, vocal communication. So that's the sound of your voice, your tonation. Speak with conviction, right? You were sharing earlier that even sometimes you don't really know what you're saying, but when you say it with confidence, they believe you. And it's true. If you speak with conviction, conviction sounds like a full stop at the end of what you're saying. When you speak with conviction, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is the impact. I'm a global fashion designer. Who's going to challenge you? But if you say, I think I'm a global fashion designer, they'll be like, is she really? But if I say, hello, good morning, I'm a global fashion designer, I make designs that help women feel confident in who they are, I'll say, okay, where's your stuff? Let me see it. Okay? So speaking with conviction is very important. And then the final V is verbal communication, which is the words you are actually saying. Okay, so before people actually hear what you are saying, they are looking at your body language, your posture, and how you are presenting yourself. Now, sometimes you want to speak up, but you don't. And I'm going to teach you how to challenge that. You'll say, okay, is what I'm thinking 100% facts, or am I making an assumption? Because sometimes you don't want to speak up because you're like, oh, what if it's a stupid question? What if nobody likes my idea? That's an assumption you're making of the future. That is not 100% true. Then I want you to challenge it and ask it, is this thought sabotaging me or is it empowering me? The thoughts in your head should empower you. The thoughts in your head should move you forward. Any thought that is telling you you're not smart enough, you're not gifted enough, you're not good enough, that is a thought that is sabotaging you, and you want to throw it in the bin. And as a creative, if you want to go from local to global, you have to start before you are ready. My journey started because I posted one video on Instagram back in 2016. One video. And after I posted one video, I got nice feedback. I was like, okay, let me keep going. I posted another video and another video. Before I knew it, it's 1 year of posting videos. And I said, okay, let me see if people actually show up to hear me speak in real life. 0 qualifications, 0. I was just like, let me see. And then I put out a flyer and I said, I'm hosting an event, Confidence and Killing It. 200 people signed up in the space of 3 days. I thought 50. I was thinking, okay, maybe 20. My mom said, no, dream big, go for 50. 200 people signed up. You have to start before you are ready. After that event, I now decided, okay, I want to do some training. Let me become a life coach. After I did the life coach training, I was like, okay, let me start a podcast. Then the podcast is one of the top listened to podcasts in the UK. Then it's listened to in over 200 countries. I could never say that I did that if I did not start. When I started a podcast, I was not ready. Let me show you this slide, okay? So this is me in 2010. And you know when you're leaving secondary school and they ask you, what are you most likely to be in the future? So I wrote down that I'm most likely to run my own international business. This is me at 18 years old, okay? Fast forward, this is me now. I have a book. I have a TEDx talk. I have a podcast. I've worked with some of the biggest brands. I've worked with the government. When I wrote that in 2010, I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know how to start a podcast. I didn't know how to run a business. I didn't know how to do any of those things. But I did not let not knowing how to do something disqualify me from starting. Knowledge and capability are not the same thing. Just because you don't know how to do something doesn't mean you're not capable of doing it, right? Who was it? Fatima that gave the example. Who gave the example of clothing that the design? Was it you, Suzanne? Okay, right. You're a fashion designer, yes. So she didn't know how to make the style, right? But the capability to make it was inside of her. So she gave herself a chance, and she saw that capability come out. So just because you don't know how to do something right now doesn't mean you cannot figure it out and learn. You might not know how to do it right now. You can study, you can practice, you can do research, you can ask for help. And then before you know it, you can do anything you want. And that's the same approach I took here. I didn't know how to write a book. I didn't know how to start a podcast. I didn't know how to build a business. I practiced small. Every time I was creating a video on Instagram, it just felt like a little video. It was preparing me for this moment. Okay? So practice. What's something small you can do to get started? Now, when you're going after your big ambitious dreams, you often think that you need to know it all. If you don't know it all, you can't start. That's not true. Right? Sometimes you think you need to be perfect. You need to have everything out, aligned exactly the way you need it. Maybe you feel like you need to have all the answers. That is not true. You don't need to know it all. You don't need to have all the answers. It doesn't need to be perfect for you to start. What do you need? You need to know how to navigate uncertainty. This is what, when you look at successful people, people that can run businesses, this is what they have on the right side. It's not knowing it all. It's knowing how to navigate uncertainty. It's knowing how to find the answer when you need it. Using your network to create opportunities, adapting and learning, owning your mistakes and leading with integrity. This is what confidence is about. It's not about being the smartest in the room. It's not about having all the answers or having all the resources. You have to be able to work with what you have. Okay? And this is how you begin to take action on your big, ambitious goals. So, I want you to think about something you did not know how to do before that you can now do. Okay? Something you did not know how to do before, but you learned, you practiced, and you leveled up. Okay? That's my equation. You learn, you practice, and you level up. Everybody say learn, practice, level up. Okay. So I want you to think about something you could not do before, but you took yourself through that process. You learned, you practiced, you leveled up. Okay.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Greatness, but you can call me Kachi.
Okay, Greatness.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in 2023, I registered for an animation course. Prior to that time, I didn't know anything about animation. But, well, I just decided to go for it because I wanted to learn a skill. When I started, the first 2 months was extremely difficult. I wanted to give up a lot of times, but I just kept on. I was like, if other people were doing it, why can't I? Well, fast forward, I graduated after a year, 6 months. I finally graduated. I submitted my final project, and it was amazing. And right now, I'm currently working with a company, and we do 3D animation and immersive tech. I'm so proud of how far I've grown from somebody who didn't know anything about 3D animation in 2023. And right now, I do AR and VR. It's just so amazing. So, yeah, thank you.
Well done. What did that teach you about yourself?
Okay, that taught me that even though things are extremely difficult, I should not give up. And it also taught me that I have the strength to do things. If other people can do things, it means I also can, right? And it also showed me that there are some strengths that I had not yet unlocked.
Yes.
And going through that, I realized that, I'm capable of doing this, I'm capable of doing that too.
Yes.
Yeah, that phase of my life actually unlocked a lot of things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
Wow,
So, yeah.
Amazing. Can we give her another round of applause? She just decided, let me try it out. Now she has the skills, she has the job, she's more confident, and now anything in life she can decide, I want to try this and see how it goes, right? So that is a perfect example. Anybody can do this. You don't have to be special in any kind of way. You don't have to be super smart. All you need to do is to make the decision and to try and to practice. Okay, one more person who would like to share.
I'd tried my hands on bead making, and I had to stop for some personal reasons. And my dad was it was not really understanding the reason why I was going for unusual things. Because when I told him I wanted to learn how to make bags and shoes, he was like, that's a man's job. What are you going to do there? But he believed in me, yeah, which was the main thing. That was the only thing I needed. And I went from somebody who had never sat on a sewing machine. I learned how to, use the machine in a week. My boss was amazed, and then from there, she started giving me jobs, and I made my first bag in a month. Wow. And 6 months in, my boss could confidently go out, leave jobs for me, and then she'd come back to me with her jobs well done. And it has helped me, because anytime my daddy remembers, he'll be like, wow, that he didn't believe I could do this much in just a year. And I don't know, I don't want to get emotional.
So do not let someone who only knows a side of you dictate the potential of your whole life. Are you getting me? Do not let someone who only knows you from childhood, or one teacher that only knows you from one class, to tell you that you cannot achieve a dream. You need to know yourself more than anybody else. People might not always believe in your dream, but you have to believe in your dream, right? And then, think about parents, right? They just want to know that you're going to be okay. That's all. So if you go to them and say, Daddy, I think I want to do bead making, but I'm not really sure, but let me just start trying, and, they might be like, I don't know. But if you say, I have a plan, I'm doing training, I'm doing apprenticeship, I want to start, let's see where it goes, they are more likely to believe in you. Right? How many times have we heard the story of you want to do music? They say, which one is music? But when they hear your song on the radio, that's my daughter, that's my son. Right? The moment you blow, everybody in your neighborhood is claiming you. But in the beginning, when it was just you, they were saying, which one is this? Okay? So you have to remember that not everyone is going to see the vision from the beginning. Right? And as Mrs. D always says, right, your execution is important. You have to follow through with execution. Your vision does not need consensus. That is what Mrs. D says. Your vision does not need consensus. You have to go forward and execute. Okay, second to last one, and we're wrapping up, is gather. Okay, lions do not move alone. They actually move in a pride. Have you seen that? They move together. The lioness takes care of the cubs, or the lioness goes hunting. The lion stays to take care of the environment, make sure everybody else is safe. Success is not a solo journey. So things like this, events like this are important. Network, build community. You never know which pair can actually unlock doors from you. It's not every time you go and find a big man to open the door for you. Your friends, your peers can always unlock opportunities for you. So sorry, guys, we have to wrap up. But the last thing I wanted to say to you was, not everybody is going to understand. Okay? But you have to know it for yourself, that I believe in who I am, I believe in what I'm doing, and this is the life that I want. And it will pay off. It might take long, and it might feel like there are years when you're doing a lot and nothing is happening, but once you carry on and keep being consistent, you will see the reward. Okay? So, let's just say it out loud. Everyone say rise, roar, hunt, gather, and rest. Okay, so the next time you're not feeling confident, remember this. Remember that you can embody lion energy. You can rise, you can roar, you can hunt, you can take action. You can learn and level up as you go. Okay, so thank you so much for being here and being super active and participating. It's been a pleasure being here with you today. Like I said, my name is Tiwalola Adebayo. I'm a confidence coach, podcaster, TEDx speaker, and a transformational businesswoman. Yeah, period.